Hello. We are
Hi,
live.
everybody.
We are now live on YouTube. How is everyone doing? Real quick, before we get going, Brittany, I meant to ask you, what was that super yucky stuff happening?
Okay, so uh, sometimes we post dumb ideas on Twitter. That's like our idea, like think tank. So if we were like, yeah, this idea is great, but it also is stupid, would people actually buy it? So we post it on Twitter and see what the reaction is before we decide to make it. And it's that old, like, piracy campaign, like, you wouldn't steal a pizza, would you
Right.
steal a DVD? And someone saw that tweet, stole that idea, and made a crappy like drop ship e-com website to sell that shirt
Wow.
in the replies to our tweet.
Wow.
and
Apparently, they would steal a design.
and then they realized that we weren't just like a film Twitter meme account. They called us a meme store and took the design off of their shop and then tried to apologize to us and then get us to work with them in the DMs.
They slipped into your DMs as well.
Yep.
Wow, winners.
Yeah, so the shirt's up for pre-order now if you want it. But I think it's real funny and kind of ironic how that whole situation turned out. Like, you wouldn't steal a DVD, but you would steal a shirt design off Twitter.
Sorry, just texting someone really quick, and then we're gonna get started, everyone.
How was your Mother's Day?
Pretty good. Sydney got to sleep in till like 3.
Blessed.
Well, the kids, hard to wrangle them and keep them quiet, especially when Spencer throws sand on Oliver's head.
Sand?
We have a sandbox out back for them.
Oh. We didn't really do it. Well, we went out, we left the house. It was cool. We went and got coffee and bread from a local bakery joint.
Nice. Yeah, I saw your Instagram story of y'all in the car.
Yeah, it was actually super efficient. We had masks on, they had masks on. We pulled up to their drive-through and rolled down the back seat windows, and they just dropped it in the car, and then we drove away. Yeah.
Nice. Don't you like? I thought you don't have to wear a mask in the car. Like, I never do, and no one. You don't need to wear a mask in the car.
We only put them on because someone was coming up to the car and like being kind of in the car.
Gotcha.
But, we just, yeah, we don't wear them when we're driving. We just had them on while we were in the drive-through because we were like coming within 6 feet of a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's see here. Indra, hello to you. Happy Mother's Day. Michael, good to see you. And all right. So this one, guys, is going to be a jam-packed podcast this week. We're going to be jumping in and running because even like the main attraction, which has already been recorded, is like 25, 30 minutes long.
Yeah. And so on top of that, a ton of news. Animal Crossing as always.
Yep.
So
it's going to be a full show this week. We're not going to do a lot of chatting with you guys in the chat unless it's relevant to the topics we're discussing. So just hang tight. We'll interact with you guys when we can. And then, of course, at the end, we'll do a few quick questions from you guys. But just hold your questions till then. Kev, how you doing? Good to see you. Kat, good to see you. All right. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right. Here we go in 3, 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 34 of the Attractions Podcast. I'm Banks.
And I'm Brittany.
And we're here to give you the rundown of all the latest happenings from attractionsmagazine.com over the past week and in our lives in general. And guys, we got a full show to get to today. So we're going to really jump right in. But real quick, how has your week been, Brittany?
It's been a hard week. I'm hitting a wall again. I got over my first quarantine wall, and now I'm starting to hit the second one. But other than that, things are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. We're recording
Yeah.
this on Sunday. Of course, our YouTube live stream, you can always join us every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it is Mother's Day while we're recording this. So big old happy Mother's Day. Sydney, I got to help her sleep in until about 2 or 3 o'clock. And once I'm done here, we're going to help finish cleaning the house. And so, just a very chill, laid back Mother's Day.
You kind of need one of those right about now, I think.
Yeah,
They're
agreed.
well deserved.
Agreed. So yeah, like I said, we got a lot of news to talk about. So let's just jump right into the news in the queue.
All right, first things first. MegaCon Orlando canceled, but there's a but there. There's a new event, exclusive event coming Halloween weekend, called MegaCon Orlando Limited Edition.
Ooh, tell me about this.
So it will take place on October 30th through November 1st. So literally Halloween weekend. Block off your calendars. This is what you're doing at the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando. And to keep it exclusive and safe for guests, it will be limited to 25,000 tickets. And once they're gone, they're gone. And I know 25,000 sounds like a lot, but when you think about like the whole show floor of the Orange County Convention Center, they're going to be so spread out.
And I think I saw in the details of the announcement is that those who have tickets already bought for the regular MegaCon, their tickets will be able to transfer over to the limited edition MegaCon, which means that anyone who doesn't have a ticket, that window is now very much smaller to get in before it sells out.
Yeah, so the way that tickets work is if you have like adult admission, it's automatically transferred over to the limited edition event. If you purchased a Thursday ticket to MegaCon Orlando Standard, you get an upgrade to a Friday ticket for the limited edition event. If you bought a youth ticket, you get a complimentary upgrade to an adult ticket, and so on and so forth. And you can request a refund up until May 31st if some reason you can't go or if that impedes on your Halloween plans. So, hey, that's a thing.
And this is the second time this year they've rescheduled because the MegaCon was originally supposed to be in March. Then they got rescheduled to, I think, the end of this month. And now it's rescheduled again, but made smaller. So you'll be curious to see which guests are going to come back and be a part of this Halloween version.
Yeah, they said that they are working on the new lineup for guests and that they hope to have it announced by August 1st. So if you're interested, hang tight. You should get an announcement by then. Hopefully the people who were scheduled to come can work out this new date.
Well, here's hoping.
All right, next up. Taika Waititi is directing a Star Wars movie.
Oh, we willed this into existence because last week I mentioned that I had heard Taika was directing, but it wasn't confirmed. And then literally before we posted the episode, they on May the 4th announced it.
Yeah, and oh man, it felt like every single manifestation I put out into the universe just kind of appeared. And it was amazing. It was, oh man, it felt so good to finally have the rumors confirmed. And he's co-writing with one of the screenwriters of 1917. Mm-hmm. And Leslie Headland, who did Russian Doll on Netflix, if you guys watch that, is working on a new series. We don't know anything about it. Most people think it's like an Ahsoka series or something, but very excited. We don't know when it'll come out. Time.
It's Taika doing Star Wars. I loved his season finale episode of Mandalorian. So if that's what we're gonna get, but feature length, I'm all for this.
I think it's so funny. A long time ago, he tweeted about how he would get fired within the first day if he worked on a Star Wars movie, and now he's doing a Star Wars movie.
Well, I think the good thing is that it's a new Star Wars movie. It's presumably going to be a new story. It has nothing to do with the Skywalker saga. That's done. So no one's really is going to have any preconceived notions going in to then hate him if he screws something up. It's fresh. So that's really in his favor, I think.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just so excited to have. I mean, if you've been watching Disney Gallery, you've seen the whole director roundtables and everything, and them talking with Dave Filoni and everything. I feel like this core group of directors that they've got under their belt now over at Lucasfilm. They really know what they're doing and have a good grip on things. I'm so excited to see where they take the franchise from here.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, next up, SeaWorld. If you got an annual pass, they have started doing things for you. So this is kind of complicated, so I'm going to go over the gist of it. So while the parks are closed, they announced that they will automatically extend all active annual passes and membership products for SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, and Aquatica for a period at least as long as the temporary closure. So if the parks are closed for like 3 or 4 months, by the time all of this ends and we go back to normal, your annual pass will be extended 3 to 4 months. But for those who haven't completed their initial term of their Easy Pay, so like your monthly payment contract before the park's closed, and you deferred your payments, you will not get an extension. If you continue to pay on your annual pass while the parks were closed, you will get the extension. And if you paid your pass in full, you will get the extension.
Yeah, we do the monthly payment, and it's still been charging us, which was always kind of because Disney Universal, they said, hey, we're going to put a hold on monthly charges. SeaWorld never did, so it always felt like, really, SeaWorld, like you're going to do this to people and continue charging? But at least now they've come out and said, okay, well, here's the reason why. Here's what you're going to get because we're continuing charging you. Yep. I already have the Platinum Pass, so I'm excited. I'm interested to see what new perks I'll get because I can't go any higher. I can't upgrade my tier because I'm at the highest tier. But I think Sydney, my wife, and my daughter Spencer are a lower tier, so they'll get to go up as probably join me as well. Yeah. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you have like a lower tier, they will automatically bump your AP up 1 tier, and you will also get extra bring a friend days where you can bring in a friend of yours to the park for free, which is great. Cool. So yeah, if that applies to you, head to attractionsmagazine.com, search SeaWorld. We have the phone number and the email that you have to contact to get everything figured out if you have any questions.
There you go.
All right. Some news we're kind of waiting on. Universal Orlando City Walk might be planning to reopen tomorrow.
Might be. And notes, because tomorrow, if you're watching our live stream, it's tomorrow. But if you're listening to the audio version, it is today. We will probably find out. So just follow our social medias, go to attractionsmagazine.com. If it ends up happening, you'll know about it. But right now, as of this recording, we're not sure.
Yes. So some locations told their team members and their employees to prepare to return to work on Monday, May 11th, which is today if you're listening to the audio, tomorrow if you're watching video. Mm-hmm. This is not all locations. Universal has not announced this officially, so we are just waiting for the 11th to come around and for stuff to open or not. But it's possible. I mean, we'll get to it later, but Disney Springs has announced a reopening date. Shanghai Disneyland literally just opened right before we started recording this podcast. Things are starting to somewhat go back to normal, I guess, but it's something to keep an eye on.
And here's my takeaway from this. I don't think they're going to just open tomorrow to the public without a formal announcement a little ahead of time. What I think this might be is these people might be told, yes, prepare to return to work and report to work on the 11th so that they can go through a week of training to figure out how they can successfully and safely run their restaurants, stores, etc., and keep social distancing so that then, say, a week of training, then they can open to the public around the day that Disney Springs opens. Because I think I've heard that some of the Disney Springs cast members from third-party stores that will open on the 20th are already there working and training and setting things up. So that might be what's going on with Universal.
Yep. We will update our article accordingly once we find out for sure. But it's something we're keeping an eye on right now. So
yeah, and it's if anyone, we'll talk about it in a little bit. So go on to the next story.
All right. Speaking of stuff opening, Shanghai Disneyland is now open. Yeah. It's already May 11th over there. It was scheduled to reopen on May 11th with phased openings and phased offerings. So here's the basic gist of what they're doing. The park will utilize new safety measures and procedures like opening with limited attendance, required advance ticketing and reservations, including for people who have annual passes, accommodating social distancing in queues, restaurants, ride vehicles, and other park facilities, increased frequency of sanitation and disinfection. Guests and cast will have to wear masks. Guests will have to scan health QR codes on their phones and present this before they enter the park. They'll have to show their government ID when they scan their tickets, and they will have to wear their masks all day except for when they're eating. Basically, that whole thing. We watched a video before we started recording this, and the basic measure of distance that they're keeping between people in queues and on rides is 1 meter, which is just over 3 feet.
Yeah, so less than the recommended 6 feet. But I'm wondering if that's a difference in countries. Like, of course, the CDC in America is saying 6 feet. I'm not sure if other countries also have 6 feet or the meter equivalents, or if China has said, yeah, just 1 meter. It could be different for each country. I'm not entirely sure.
The World Health Organization, I'm just seeing if, World Health Organization says at least 1 meter. So
there you go. So the WHO establishes 1 meter, but I think the CDC has bumped it up to 6 feet. So, you know, each country's going to do what they want to do. So they're at least China, they're still doing the safe measurements as according to the World Health Organization. So that's great. It's definitely weird because there's so much signage on the ground now and so many taped squares that you can see throughout the park to differentiate how far people need to stand apart for like outdoor theater shows when you're standing in line. It's very different, but it's still kind of cool to see people in the parks again. And, you know, as we're recording this right now, literally 15, maybe 30, 45 minutes ago, Shanghai just opened, and I was watching some live streams before we started recording of people in the park and starting to enter the park and the characters coming out in front of the train station and the band is playing. And it's just like, who knew how much I actually miss seeing these kind of visuals and things.
They played Phantasmic, which made me so happy.
I missed that. I heard them playing Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Oh, I tuned in and they were playing Phantasmic and I was just like rocking out on my couch.
Oh, I would have cried that.
Also, we talked about this not on the podcast, but like last week, I think, with the stickers on the ground, because we were like, well, I would want to stand on the stickers. They did research with guests as to like whether they would prefer to stand in between floor markings or on them, and their research showed that they would rather be told not where to not stand versus where to stand. So
that's interesting, man. I can definitely see it now because the sign of where to not stand, it's a giant like circle with the line through it. Like it's hard to miss. So yeah, and I feel, and you know, this is a knock on Americans, I guess, but it also is like, I love you guys. I am an American, but we're not the best at like visual, like reading things. So like, of course, everyone in China, Japan, they're really good about following rules. You see it all the time, even before all this happened. Like you don't see people with kids on their shoulders holding iPads up. They're always very respecting other people around them. So I can wholeheartedly see them understanding these signs wholeheartedly. Americans, I'm sorry, like I probably would want to stand on the thing as well, just out of my visual.
And we could see that there. I mean, they said that they were going to train U.S.-based cast before we reopened and everything. Mm-hmm. So their research might say, well, Americans would prefer to be told where to stand versus where not to stand.
Right.
So it may be the opposite for us, but
yeah.
Yep.
But it's nice to finally see a Disney park reopened again. Very limited capabilities, but still people are there now. So this will be a great way for Disney to kind of see how things go and then possibly implement various similarities in the other parks around the world.
Speaking of various protocols to implement, leads right into our next thing. So the chief medical officer for the Disney parks, Dr. Pamela Heimel, posted a letter on the Disney parks blog last week, kind of going over some possible protocols and rules they are thinking about and considering for the domestic parks, so Disneyland and Walt Disney World. And here are a few of them. So there's phased reopening, which means like gradual reopening of maybe downtown Disney and Disney Springs before the actual Disney parks, or the hotels and Disney Springs before the parks itself. Physical distancing and capacity measures. So this means like implementing lower caps on guest capacity for certain parks. Like Magic Kingdom, I don't think it has an official capacity, but I feel like they ballpark it at around 90,000.
I think so.
So they would probably aim for like 25% of that to start, and then go up as like things become safer, or depending on cases that come out of people traveling to the parks. Technological support is also being considered, like the Disney Parks app, Play Disney Parks, and virtual queuing for select attractions at Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Cleanliness and sanitation, so the parks are planning increased cleaning and disinfection, deciding when and where that should take place, like in high traffic areas. Like you can't clean trash cans when the 3 o'clock parade, not that they're probably going to have parades, but like, for example, that crowd going through there's no way you're going to be able to clean during that time. So they're trying to decide when is the safest and most efficient time to do that kind of cleaning, and what cleaning products and processes will be used, because a lot of cleaning products are like alcohol based, and the paint and the scenic fabrication stuff probably doesn't mix well with alcohol-based cleaning products. So they have to figure out what is both safe for guests to use and will help preserve the longevity of the park, because you could peel paint off with alcohol-based cleaning products. So
a lot of things to learn. That is for sure. First off, can I just say I had no idea that Disney Parks had a chief medical.
I didn't. I mean, in this situation, I'm really glad that they do.
Yeah, of course. But that was just a surprise to see that and learn someone new within the company. I do appreciate that. But this is going to be something that we're going to be dealing with at least to the end of the year. We're going to have to learn these new procedures and respect them and get used to them, because it's not just going to be something where we do it for a week and then we go back to normal. This is going to be the new normal, basically, for a while. It's interesting, it's freaky, but at the same time, like I hate using this word, because it is, this is a very deadly virus, and lots of people have passed away, sadly. But it's interesting to me just to see these new changes and how things are going to be implemented, and just learning new things about the park going experience.
Yeah, and they're going to be doing so much to try to make this experience as safe as possible. They're going to be retraining cast, giving them masks to wear, encouraging guests to wear masks. They call them face coverings, which I think is interesting, because mask is like a scary word.
Right.
But I mean, it's great that they're allowing cast members to have that kind of PPE, personal protective equipment, if you don't know what PPE means, to keep themselves and guests safe, because we've discussed this. We weren't sure if they would let cast wear those masks or not.
Right.
So these are just things that you can keep in mind if you're planning to go to the parks. If you're local, if you're not local, I would recommend that you wait.
Yeah.
But this isn't set in stone. This isn't exactly what they're doing, but it's stuff they're considering.
I guarantee you we're going to see stores and carts selling themed face coverings. So they're already starting to sell them on Shop Disney, but we'll probably see them in person at the parks for people who, may have forgotten a mask, or their mask got torn walking into the park and they need to buy a new one. They're going to have masks available in person.
And I thought about this the other day. Normally the recommendation for a face covering is you use it once, and then once you're finished with it, you take it off and you wash it. So that's probably why they have 4 in each pack on Shop Disney. So people are going to need more than one, because if you wear it to the parks and it's like 90 degrees out, you're going to be sweating, coughing.
This summer is going to be interesting in Florida. That's for sure.
Brutal. And that mask is going to be smelly, and you're going to need to wash it and have a spare on hand. So,
and I'm even thinking, like, when it rains, because it's Florida, it's going to rain every day in the summertime. Yep. How when it gets wet, like, it's going to be harder to breathe through it when it's full of water, and like, I don't know.
Yeah, so I think If you've got a mask, maybe bring like one extra one in your bag just in case. Like put it in a Ziploc bag, make sure it's clean and everything, just in case.
Yeah. And hey, we're gonna need these masks sooner than we think, because next week there's gonna be an opening in Florida.
Yep. Disney Springs is set to begin its phased reopening on Wednesday, May the 20th. This was announced this past week, and everyone's freaking out because this kind of means that Disney World could open soonish, probably not within the next month.
I don't expect the theme parks to open up soon. Shanghai, if I'm not mistaken, I think Shanghai was the first park to close.
I think it closed in January.
Yeah, it closed in January. So now it's the first park to reopen. So they're probably like we said this before. They're looking to see what happens in Shanghai before they decide they're going to open any theme parks in America. But of course, Downtown Disney Springs, they're not really parks. They're just basically glorified shopping malls, per se. So it does kind of make sense that they choose to open that first and see how it goes from there.
Yeah. And for now, it's just the third-party shops. So I'm trying to think of Stance, Socks, probably Uniqlo, pretty much anything except for World of Disney, the Marketplace Co-op, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It'll be interesting because, you have to wear masks. They're required to even go there. It's a whole political thing, and I don't want to get into the politics of it all, but especially here in Florida, there are a large group of people that are very anti-mask wearing. So I can only imagine what's going to happen when, they show up to Disney Springs and then they're told they can't enter without a mask on. There might be some issues with some of the general population, and that makes me concerned a little bit. But I mean, at the same time, Florida is in a phase 1 reopening right now. So there are certain stores and things that can, and restaurants that can open dine-in with limited capacity. So Disney Springs is obviously going to allow their third parties to make the decision to if they want to reopen or not. But there's no reason to go if you don't have to go. Don't go just to walk around and see what it feels like. No, bad idea. Let it just be for the people that need to go there, either for work or if they need to go pick something up for someone, or they've ordered something. Don't just go and hang out. That's stupid. I do not condone that.
Yeah, we just want you to be safe and to keep others safe, because it's not just about us. It's about everyone within our general bubble that we have to think about now. But if you are planning on going to Disney Springs when it reopens, here are some of the protocols and things that they are preparing for you. So they're utilizing enhanced safety measures and cleaning procedures. They will encourage appropriate physical distancing. I don't know if they will go with the 1 meter or the 6 feet thing. We'll have to see. Requiring both cast and guests to wear face coverings. So everyone you will encounter, hopefully, they don't let any people sneak through, wear masks, and additional safety training for cast members with a focus on limited contact guest services. So probably contactless payment, handing of goods with gloves on, that kind of thing, not following you around the store, checking to see if you need help necessarily, stocking things, I would assume, with proper PPE like gloves and stuff, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's full disclosure. I guarantee you, someone from our team will probably be there on the 20th, because we are, as much as we do vlogging and we do videos and things like that, we are a news site. That's what Attraction Magazine started in 2007 as a news publication. So we do still cover the news. So someone from our team will be there on the 20th to share how things look, the procedures that are happening, the what's being done. So you'll see stuff on our social media channels and our YouTube channel from May 20th from Disney Springs. I don't know if it's going to be me personally. It might be Theron that goes out. I'm not sure who's going to go out, but one of us will be going out on the 20th to give you guys a look at how the openings are being handled by Disney and report the news to you. And we're obviously going to do it as safely as humanly possible, respecting all the distancing and all the rules as well.
Right, because it is our job, but we are people too, and we are trying to keep each other and ourselves safe. And that is the first priority above everything.
Exactly.
Disney Springs also said that they will that they could announce additional protocols and procedures closer to the opening date. So if they do, stay tuned because we will update you if that's the case.
Exactly.
And other than the Animal Crossing corner, we just got through the news in half an hour.
Boom! Virtual high five. Boom! Nice. Yeah. Sorry to breeze through that, but it's just kind of it's almost the same old in terms of like what we're talking about with the thing reopenings and procedures and things like that. But hopefully we'll have more to talk about in variety of things in future episodes. Someone in our live chat says that they miss Brittany.
I'm here every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Catching up in the chat here. Hello, Rodney. Good to see you. No worries for being late. Expedition Theme Park. Hello to you.
Howdy.
Brian, real quick. What if Taika is doing a Knights of the Old Republic film?
Okay, listen. Before they got fired, I think David and Dan from Game of Thrones were working on a KOTOR movie. And then they got fired because they rushed Game of Thrones so they could start working on Star Wars. And then Game of Thrones ended up being really bad. So Kathy fired them.
Oops.
That's what I think happened.
See, kids, don't rush your projects.
No, it's important. Kathy Kennedy might be watching.
Exactly. Oh, God. I don't want to. She's always watching. Yes, Brittany, she has heard your thoughts on Rise of Skywalker.
Listen, no disrespect to her. I admire her a lot, and she's one of my female heroes. But God, that movie was awful.
Oh, all right, before we get into that, we got some Animal Crossing to talk about. Our Animal Crossing corner. It's been a busy week on the island of Golden Oak. I'm finally doing a uniform look to the island. So I've got a playground area now. I just finished today building a zen area with bamboo and things like that. The house neighborhood is completely finished. Hold on. Let me write that down. 3150.
Oh, cat.
3150.
3150.
Sorry, little technical issues. I apologize. Please stay tuned. Our host will be back on the line very, very soon.
Uno momento, por favor.
Gotcha. All right. Testing 1, 2. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, there we go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. All right. We'll just start at the beginning of Animal Crossing Corner. So that I can have a good cut there. What was the time code? I said 3150?
3150.
All right, 3150. All right. A little behind the scenes, guys, so that when I edit the audio version, I can cut this part out. All right, so here we go. Starting with Animal Crossing Corner again here in 3, 2. All right, so yes, Animal Crossing Corner, our new weekly segment here, and a lot has happened on the island of Golden Oak. So I'm finally trying to put a uniformity to my island, and I've got an area where you can swap some items if you don't have any. There's a playground right next to it. I've got pathways. I've got bridges. I've got a zen garden that I finished building.
Ooh.
The neighborhood is complete. So I'm moving some stores around to their final locations. So it's happening on my island this week.
That's awesome. My island, I don't know. I've never been able to like fully renovate a whole island. I played like Wild World was my first Animal Crossing game, and that was like where you worked with the natural layout of the island and the town and everything. So I'm trying. It's just hard because I get super overwhelmed really quickly because I think about the whole, like the big picture of the thing, like how I want to design everything. And then I'm like, oh God, it's so much. I'm overwhelmed. But I'm trying to redo my entire campsite. I have a little picnic area. I'm going to move my tent and put like a bonfire and some log seating over there. I designed my secret beach where Red comes, who hasn't visited me all week, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't seen him at all since last week.
I finally unlocked this week going into his boat and buying art.
Yeah, he didn't show up. I didn't see. Well, I saw Celeste last Saturday, I think, but I haven't seen her since. And I saw Leaf twice this week, which I thought was weird, because I thought each NPC would come weekly.
Right.
But
and I've been playing this for over 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks now. I still have yet to see the bug guy.
Oh, Flick?
Yeah, I've never seen him.
I've been holding on to so many bugs and fish, waiting for Flick and CJ to come so I could sell them, because I caught 2 coelacanths in one day, and they've just been sitting in my front yard waiting for them to show up so I could sell them.
Let me tell you. So Sydney and I started a few days before Sydney started, and Sydney literally just about 45 minutes ago has declared that her island is finally at 5 stars.
Shut up.
I'm still sitting at 3.
Finally, as if she's only been playing for like a couple weeks.
She is killing it on her island, and hopefully maybe sometime in the future some of you guys will be to visit Buena Vista. That's her island, so that's cool. But a really cool thing happened on my island this week, and Brittany for the first time visited my island, because I was shocked to see one day that the Nook kids were buying turnips for 516 bells a turnip.
Unreal.
Which, if you don't know turnips, so turnips is a kind of a what they call a stock market in Animal Crossing. So every Sunday, there's this lady that's in there from the morning, from 5 a.m. to noon. You can buy turnips from her at a varying price between like 90 and 110 turnips, 90 to 110 bells per turnip. So you buy as many as you want with however much money you have. And then you can turn those around whenever the Nook brothers are buying them at various prices. The prices change twice a day, so you could get as low as 40 bells or as high as up to 1,000, I think. So my island randomly had 516, and so I invited a lot of friends over to make some bank.
And you really helped me, because at Banks and I, we kind of coordinate selling our turnips together. So if one of us finds like a really good link, we send it to the other one. And I went to this streamer that I usually go to sell my turnips on her island, and it ended up not working out, and I was super angry. So mad, because I like waited hours in line and got skipped. So and Banks was like, hey, my island has like 500 and some buying price today. So I was like, I'm there. And he really saved me, because that week I bought 8,000 turnips for 360,000 bells. And I made like 4 million,
Boom.
4.5 million after selling them all off.
Nice. This week, this morning, I bought 5,000 turnips, and they were at 91 bells.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. So I've never no. So it's 5,000 per level of my house. I have 10,000 bells. 5,000 are right now stored in my basement, and 5,000 are stored in my top room. So I have 10,000 bells, and I'm looking forward to hopefully finding a good price this week.
10,000 turnips?
10,000 turnips. Yes, thank you.
So it's like, you don't put your money in the ATM?
No, I have. I don't trust the banks.
Keep it under your mattress.
You can't trust that Nook, I swear. No, yeah, 10,000 turnips. That's mine this week, is 10,000 turnips.
That's more than I've ever done. You're getting brave. I actually took a week off last week. I really didn't like how angry I got over it, because I was like, this is a game. No, I was pissed. No, I was so mad, because I was like, I've never been treated this way. They assumed I was lying about waiting in line. So I was like, I'm gonna take a break. I'm not going to buy turnips this week. I'm just going to chill, because I have 12 million bells in the bank. I'm good. I don't need to buy more turnips. But so it was nice to kind of not get up early and get on Animal Crossing, because I'm also I'm like juggling games at this point. I finished The
Right.
Last of Us. I bought it last week and finished it in 3 days. Awesome
Nice.
game. And I've been going back and forth between Witcher 3 and Animal Crossing. So I'm just like switching back and forth between those. More than anything, I've been using this app. If you guys have iPhones, it's called ACNH Exchange. Looks like you can't even see that probably. It looks like this.
Okay.
And people set up queues not only to sell turnips, but to come visit their islanders that are crafting so you can get DIYs from them. Come see Celeste if you need to get a DIY from her or do shooting stars. It's free. It's bot free because it's an app and bots can't mess with it or something like they can with Turnip Exchange.
Right.
You can host events through it. It's got a queuing system. You just pop in, join a line, and you wait, and it'll send you a push notification when it's your turn. It's awesome. I've literally gotten like, how many times have I been? I've been 27 times since I really started using this app like 2 weeks ago to go get DIYs from people and go see Celeste every day. So I highly recommend, if you are a daily Animal Crossing player, to check out this app, ACNH Exchange. It's free, and go get yourself some DIYs. They're hard to come by.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely downloading that since we're done recording this.
It's awesome.
Sydney has gotten into the Animal Crossing Discord. And she's been learning. Oh, you haven't? Okay, I'll let her know.
I'm in a few, but there's like a specific Animal Crossing Discord that people talk about, but I never see like an invite link for it.
I'll see if that's the one that Sydney's in, but yeah, she's been making a lot of good friends on there and visiting a lot of islands and people visiting her. I just love, like, it seems like the Animal Crossing community is so close knit and kind, because like even she posted on Discord like, hey, I need 10 people to come to my island to help me water my flowers, because if you have like a certain number of different people water your flowers, it's something happens with them.
You're more likely to grow hybrids.
Exactly. Yes, that's it. She's trying to grow hybrids. So without fail, like, people was like, I'd love to come over, and I'm watching your game, just people randomly watering flowers. I'm like, I love this community so much.
Yeah, aside from like the weird black market side of Animal Crossing, everyone is so nice and helpful. I mean, because I played like New Leaf and I was really active in the Facebook communities and stuff for the game, people were so nice. If you needed stuff and you just posted about it, they would probably be like, oh, I have it, you can come catalog it at my island, or I have the spare, you can have it, I'll just reorder it for myself, all the time. And it was so kind and nice, and they weren't like 99 Nook Miles tickets and your firstborn child to come to my island. So it's really nice when you do come across those subsets of the Animal Crossing community.
Yeah.
It is 10 times bigger now, which, side note, so it has sold over 14 million copies, and it hasn't even been out for 2 months. Sorry, I feel a sneeze.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm okay. Sorry, I felt
good.
it here.
I hate that.
So it sold over 14 million copies worldwide. It's already surpassed the lifetime sales that Nintendo had charted and expected for the game in less than 2 months.
I mean, I would assume World Events had a big hand in that.
Yep. So that's huge. And to compare, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, if you guys have never played that amazing game, brilliant game,
So good.
like the quintessential Zelda game, that came out in 2007 and it sold 17.5 million copies lifetime from then.
2017, you mean?
Yes, 2017. Yeah, that's what I meant. So from 2017 to now on the Switch, it's sold 17.5 million copies. Animal Crossing has been out for less than 2 months and it sold over 14 million copies.
That's insane.
So this game is global in the most extreme sense of the word.
Everyone needs to hop on and get their own islands and come visit us.
I wish we could figure out a way, maybe if I can get my capture card to work, if we could like do this and have like an island hosting thing where people can like put a dodo in and come and hang out.
That would be so cool.
If I can get it to work, I will try to figure something out. Maybe we could do that, like a special little thing instead.
That would be so cool. All right, so before we move on to the main attraction, I want to give a shout out to someone in the chat here. Mr. Fulton Mraz says he has an announcement that he is going to be on America's Got Talent season 15, singing on the show.
That's awesome.
Congrats, Fulton. We'll have to keep an eye out on you.
I watched that show all the time with my grandparents when I was a kid, and we would come stay with them at Daytona Beach. So that show is very special to me.
I love it. I feel like the judges and the hosts change every season. Who's up? Who's doing it now? Terry Crews was the host recently, right?
I haven't watched it in such a long time because I don't have cable.
Yeah, because I think Nick Cannon moved over to the Masked Singer. He's hosting that. So okay. I think Terry Crews is now the host of AGT.
Terry Crews, Simon, Sofia Vergara, Heidi Klum, and Howie Mandel.
All right. So Simon and Howie seem to be kind of the mainstays.
Yeah. But Terry Crews as a host has such chaotic energy. I love that.
Hello out there to Aiden. I see you in the chat there.
What's up? I don't play Banjo-Kazooie, but my brother does love that franchise.
When I had the 64, man, I was playing Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie till the day ended. Like, I was a huge fan of the Rare games.
Did you, when they announced Banjo for Smash, did you get to watch that reveal? Did that do something to you? Like, were you freaking out when that happened?
The childhood in me was like so happy. I was like, because I would love to see another game. I would love to see them make a new Banjo-Kazooie because the humor was so crazy and out there, and I just loved that game to death. And if they could ever remake the original, that would be so cool.
I mean, anything is possible. Right now, Nintendo had a call the other day where they said that their announced slate isn't all of the games that they're putting out this year. That's just first party, though. But anything is possible. I mean, once the world gets back to normal and devs can work outside of their house on games, who knows?
Yeah. All right. Well, without further ado, we got to jump into our main attraction for this week. And this is a good one, guys. So we have a new Disney Plus original series debuting this month called It's a Dog's Life, and it is hosted by Bill Farmer. If you don't know who Bill Farmer is, just by the name, you know his voice. He has been the voice of Goofy and Pluto for almost 30 years now. So he is hosting this new live-action reality show where he goes around the country and sees dogs doing different jobs to help humans. And it's a really cool feel-good show. You get to see some cool things that the dogs are doing. So far, I've seen 2 episodes. The first 2 episodes, and they're 30 minutes apiece, and they showcase 2 dogs each episode, so it moves very quickly, very informative. It premieres May 15th, the first episode, and it's going to be a weekly show, so it's not going to be all at once like Prop Culture was. This will be a weekly drop, and I highly recommend to check it out. So to promote the new show, I was invited into a conference call with a few other outlets around the country to interview Bill Farmer about the show. And so I have the whole call recorded. I got to ask him a couple of questions myself. So you're going to listen to it. You'll hear all the other outlets asking questions. And I'm excited to present this little look inside It's a Dog's Life with Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy.
Boop.
48 minutes. All right.
Flags.
So I apologize to everyone here on the live stream, but you will not be hearing that audio right now. If you want to hear Bill Farmer's interview, you can listen to the Attractions podcast when it drops as its audio version sometime tomorrow on May 11th. So we're pausing right now, and then we're going to come back in where I'm going to edit the audio into the interview right here, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do some Q&A. So if you got any questions you want us to answer in the chat, throw them out right now, because once we start going again, we're going to get to those questions. All right. Someone needs to make a gif of that. All right.
Oh, I remember when Nathan would do that every ENL.
Oh, like he still would do it.
Scan it for the best.
He still does it too. Obviously, we can't do it now because we're all at home. But I love Nathan. All right.
Make a gif. I'm putting it out in the universe so it can manifest.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to get right back into this in 3, 2. Bill Farmer, he is a Disney legend. He was inducted as a Disney legend years and years ago. I've gotten to meet him once in person at my first D23 Expo back in 2013. He is such a sweetheart, such a great guy. You can tell just how much he loves being goofy.
I can't wait to watch the show and to listen to your interview. I haven't listened to it yet, but I love the concept of celebrating dogs with jobs. That's just so cute.
It really is wonderful. Like there's one episode that showcases a dog who is best friends with a cheetah at the Cincinnati Zoo. So like the dog as a puppy is introduced to the cheetah when it's a cub, and they become best friends, and it helps with the development of the cheetah. And just seeing them like this full grown adult cheetah play fighting with its full grown adult dog is just the cutest thing.
I can't wait. And all the hugs and the kisses. I just love dogs.
And I mentioned it in the interview, but at least once every episode, Bill Farmer is getting licked in the face by a dog, which
as it should be.
As it should be. I think one of the favorite parts is he does, because he's also the voice of Pluto. If you didn't know that, he does all the barks and growls for Pluto. So he starts barking like Pluto, and you can see the dogs like perk up, like what was that?
Is that in the show? You got to watch a couple episodes, so
yeah, that's in one of the episodes.
Okay, I can't wait to see this because that's going to be hilarious.
But I'm looking forward to the whole season, so check that out on Disney Plus starting May 15th. It's A Dog's Life. All right, so for right now, we are going to do a little Q&A with our fine patrons of our YouTube live stream. Again, if you want to check us out every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on youtube.com/Attractions Magazine, we live stream the recording of this episode. You get to see behind the scenes and the mess ups and things like that you don't hear in the audio version. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So John Neri just asked, what are your favorite sit-down restaurants at Walt Disney World?
Ooh.
Good question.
Do you want to go first or me? If you got to go, or if you got them, go do it.
Okay, so if we're talking, so let's go.
I would say sit down is table service. Like
I was going to say, because
you're seated.
Buffet, it's Boma, hands down. Boma at Animal Kingdom Lodge, favorite buffet restaurant. Sit down table service restaurant. Oh my gosh, I'm really going to have to think about this because. Oh my god! All right. The first one that really comes to my mind is, and it's honestly, it's so weird because it's brand new, but I was so impressed with it, and I went there 3 times before everything closed down because it was just so good. Regal Eagle Smokehouse at Epcot, at the American Adventure Pavilion. That was some dang good barbecue. Like, I was very impressed because I'm from Texas, and like it reminded me of home a little bit. There's some really good barbecue sauces there that I highly recommend, and it's great to have another quick service sit down at Epcot since they got rid of Electric Umbrella. So I maybe it's just because it's brand new, but really that's the first thing that comes to my mind is Regal Eagle. I just love that place.
I really love, and it's funny because we posted a recipe today for one of my favorite to but Kona Cafe at the Poly. Listen, their breakfast is delicious, and they have vegan versions of the Mocha Loco and the Tonga Toast. So if you are a plant-based person, that's awesome because those are really 2 like quintessential Disney Parks dishes, and sometimes those iconic dishes don't have plant-based alternatives. So very cool. Love that one. And Skipper Canteen is also a fave.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I think what would probably be second. It's at Epcot, which is weird. How much like 2 of my favorite sit downs. Garden Grill.
Yeah,
I've
never been
there. You've never been to Garden Grill?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's one of those family style dinners where they just bring everything out to you, and it's the restaurant itself slowly rotates in the land pavilion, so you get to see you get to be over some of the scenes from Living with the Land, and you can look down into the scenes. It's a character dining, so you get characters as well. It really is just a fun experience.
I think does Hoop-Dee-Doo count?
Ooh.
Does Hoop-Dee-Doo count? Because if it does, then that's on my list too, because that is delicious.
Yes, I'm going to say Hoop-Dee-Doo counts because you are seated, you are being served, and yeah, Hoop-Dee-Doo is that one's probably my number 2, Garden Grill number 3, because Hoop-Dee-Doo is just a dang good time.
I went for the first time. It was right before Josh and I moved. 2 of our really good friends from Orlando took us out as like a farewell dinner to Hoop-Dee-Doo, and it was both of our first times. And our waiter like messed with us and gave us such a hard time, which is what we love. And the food was so good. I think he force fed our friend like extra portions of food because he was being a smart aleck about it. But man, it was so much fun. The food was so good. And the music is just amazing.
It's a wonderful show. The performers in that show are wonderful. And Kat is correct. Hoop is life. Hoop is love.
I'm definitely going to go back next time we're in Orlando when it is safe, because that is a very tightly packed dinner show.
Oh, yeah. Kat actually has a good question here. Dream Disney merchandise you would love to see Disney World create?
Okay. Whoever does the merchandising for Tokyo, do that. Like
thank you.
Themed accessories, themed masks, the patterned collage shirts. You know what I'm talking about? With like, the characters on them. I know Cakeworthy does it in the US, but like I want Disney to do it.
They need to bring, especially now, they need to bring the hand soap pump that pumps out the Mickey shaped.
And bring over the Duffy and Friends stuff. We used to have it, and he didn't really like take off over here like he did in Hawaii and overseas. But like, I bought a Gelatoni bag off of someone on the internet because I wanted one. The plush, stuff like that. Even the little keychains, the little stuffed keychain guys that look really nice. Like not the kind of crappy ones that they have now, but like the really nice like miniature stuffed plush keychains. Those.
Yes. For me, we need more merchandise for this ride. this ride needs some more merchandise. This is always my dream, is get more tower-centric merchandise. Because this guy. Speaking of which, Vamp for a second, Brittany, because now that you mentioned Tokyo, Vamp.
Yes. Okay. Tokyo, they were supposed to open a new land in their Fantasyland area, Beauty and the Beast, with an incredible ride. There are parts of it in the Imagineering story. I really want to go. I've never been to Tokyo before, but that got postponed. I guess Tokyo is still closed until further notice. But that's going to have some killer merch. I know that they had little rice balls with Belle on them that they had already like posted pictures of, but the park is closed. But they look super cute, and I know we talked about maybe going to cover it. Who knows when that'll happen? Maybe if we're lucky, that and Super Nintendo will happen at the same time, and then we can just like cover both.
I think we should do this. Okay, so speaking of Tokyo merch, speaking of tower merch,
Shriki to do.
I want more tower merchandise from Tokyo. I have a few things thanks to my friend Rob, who's been out there a few times, and even Matt got me a couple things when he went out. But I need more Shriki Utundu merchandise.
Listen, if I get to go to Tokyo, I'm gonna have to I'll take my carry-on with my clothes, and then I'm gonna check a full-size suitcase just for merch to bring.
I mean, you have to. That's a requirement, I think.
Because not only the parks, but like Japan has such a consumerist merchandising culture, like Super Potato, the game store, and all the stuff on Harajuku and everything. I'd be buying so much stuff. It's not even funny.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for the questions. It is now time to wrap things up for this week. So, Brittany, where can everyone find you on the interwebs?
You can find me at Brittany Tuttle. That's BRITTANITUTTLE. Yes, it's spelled funny on Twitter and Instagram. And occasionally, when my stuff works at twitch.tv/BritPlays, 3Ts. I still haven't done anything with it. I've honestly felt kind of too lethargic with the quarantine to really mess with it. But we'll get there eventually.
Sorry, I'm playing with Shrieky now.
Hold on. Here, I have so many friends with me.
Hey, it's Detective Pikachu.
It's so large. Look at it. It's knee big. I also have Roxas on my desk.
See, for those listening to the audio version, these are the fun things that you're missing with the video version.
And then I have a fossil.
Where did you get that?
Josh bought me this. Some guy makes it out of like enamel, or not enamel, like resin.
Is it like a paperweight?
No, it's just like a thing. I guess it could be a paperweight. It's kind of heavy, but it's a fossil. And then the other thing I have is this.
It's a bell.
She has bells. Listen.
All right, real quick. You can find me on Twitter at Banksley, on Instagram at Dizzy Goofball, and then of course all of the Attractions Magazine socials on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and of course attractionsmagazine.com. So like I said, every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can see our live stream recording the podcast at youtube.com/Attraction Magazine. So please come tune in, interact with us, ask some questions. We'll answer yours. And it's always a fun time.
Yeah, we always have a good fun. Sometimes you get to see the BTS stuff and stuff that we don't mean to happen, but that's live TV, baby.
Yeah, it is. All right. Well, until next week, we hope you guys have a great week, a safe week. Stay clean, stay safe, but make sure you get out there and have fun too.
Yeah. Take a walk, take a drive, call your mom.
Yes, call your mom, especially if you didn't call on Sunday. Uh-oh.
What?
Oh, I thought you were... did you not call your mom?
No, I called my mom and my Nana today.
Okay, good. All right. All right. It's going to cover for that. All right. There we go.
See,
Till the Spires.
TV.
Yes, Till the Spires, John. Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning into the live stream. Catch the audio version tomorrow, and where you'll be able to hear the Bill Farmer interview. And then next week will be fun. If you're still with us here, tune in to Early Night Live this Wednesday, because we got a special one this week. We got Linda Larkin, who was the voice of Jasmine in Aladdin. She's going to be coming in and joining us for the live stream this Wednesday to talk about a special Zoom call that Give Kids the World is doing with her and other princesses that you can help donate to. Speaking of which, I don't think I've actually mentioned this. So over here, like in the top right corner, that way, we have set up a donation for Give Kids the World. On all of our live streams with the Attractions Podcast and with Early Night Live, you are able to donate to Give Kids the World right over here if you so choose to. So please, help them out. They are a great cause. We've worked with them for many, many years. We hope to work with them for a long time to come. And they're closed right now because of everything going on. So every little bit helps them out for sure.
Yep, I think I read that every month that it's closed, 700 Wish Kids are like pushed back, and their wishes are put on hold. So everything that you donate helps get those kids their wishes granted.
Exactly. So yeah, if you're able to tune in Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on our YouTube channel, Early Night Live, we're gonna have a little chit chat with Linda Larkin, and I think this might be our first big special guest for Early Night Live.
I think ever. In its entire tenure, I can't think of anyone else special besides me. I'm just kidding.
You're always special.
Well,
with this whole situation, Early Night Live has taken on a whole new format. So this is an awesome way to kind of bring in some more attention and do some fun things, since we can't be out there experiencing the parks.
And I, for one, can't wait to watch it. I will be tuning in. I might just be lurking. I might comment. We'll see. Lurking.
Just lurking in there.
I'll be like, what's the neighbor's name in Home Improvement?
Oh, Wilson.
I'll be Wilson. I'll be like this. Just
Adio, neighborino. All right. Everyone have a good night. Brittany, thanks so much as always.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon, and everyone have a great week.
Bye-bye, everybody.